What's up, you guys? So today we're going to be doing a tour review on probably my favorite Hammond collection figure to have been released so far. And yes, I've said that about the Stiggy and some other figures in case if you had been watching like any of my other reviews. But this one might be my genuine favorite. And that would be the Hammond collection Dilophosaurus. Now, this figure is definitely very well known on this channel. I mean, first of all, my channel name is Dilo and Jack. He's the main character in my YouTube series, if you watch that, I guess. But, yeah, overall, he's been through a lot. He is one of the few, well, he's definitely the first of the Hammond collection figures. But, yeah, so, let's just get into the review, shall we? Now, I will admit, this figure is not perfect by any means. I mean, it definitely has its issues, which I will go over in this video. But, yeah, so, let's get into it. So, I have a sealed one in here. Well, not really sealed, I opened it, but I didn't really take anything out. But, yeah, let's just move him real quick. So, this figure is... I really like the way that it's packaged. Now, I will admit that that is kind of annoying, like the frills warped inside and stuff. But I mean, I don't really care too much about it. I'm probably not going to open it anytime soon, or at least open it again anytime soon. For some reason, my box has like this residue. I think there was a clearance sticker on this thing at one point, which one thing I do got to point out is that it's really hard to find these things now, at least for a decent price. The cheapest one I found was like $90, and it's just the standalone Dilophosaurus, and like it's San Diego Comic-Con plastic film thing. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to find this thing, it's very hard to find one for a good price. So yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so over here we got the Hammond Collection logo on the corner along with the side here. We got the name Dilophosaurus right here along with the Mattel logo. We got a relatively decent render of the Dilophosaurus along with the Jurassic Park logo. And we have a mildly okay render on the back of the box along with the Jurassic Park logo and the Hammond Collection logo again. Here's a photo of the Dilophosaurus whenever it's about to kill Nedry, and a little bio right here. At first appearing unassuming and curious, the Dilophosaurus is severely misjudged by Dennis Nedry, and ends up derailing his nefarious plot to escape after showing little interest in playing fetch. So yeah, if you had bought the Hammond Collection Dennis Nedry, which for whatever reason I still don't have. I mean, it's not like I'm expecting it to arrive any day now. I just never got it, despite the fact that, you know, I have the Dilophosaurus, so it would only make sense if I got Dennis Nedry. But I don't have the Hammond Collection Dennis Nedry, or any sort of Dennis Nedry figure. But, yeah, so let's just get into the figure, shall we? Now, right off the bat, it comes with this piece, which is meant to be the closed frill piece for the Dilophosaurus. Now, I don't really like this for a couple reasons, really. First of all, I'm not really too big of a fan of how the frill placement works. This is what the figure looks like without the frill, by the way. Because first of all, I mean, I understand that there's like some constraints with these figures. I know they can't just do it like how they do with their mainline Dilophosaurus and just have it fold. Because first of all, it would leave it with a permanent open frill, and plus, I mean, like, can't necessarily fold it down like this. But I mean, there could have been like an easy fix to this. And for the first reason why I don't like to put this thing on, well, that was the first reason, but the second reason is that it just doesn't look good on this figure, like, at all. It just looks like a really weird, neck brace. And as Marco from Marco Mix pointed out in the Hammond correction episode, which I gotta say he really needs to revive that series, especially since the True Effects Hammond collection figures are out now. But as he pointed out, it's barely noticeable whenever its frill is closed, and the throat should be red, which I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, overall, I really don't like how you attach these frills. But I mean, hey, I'm not Mattel. But anyways, let's just get into the articulation, shall we? So the jaw can open and close. The head can move up and down and rotate a full 360. Then so can the neck. The arms can rotate a full 360. And spread from the body. The elbows can rotate a full 360 and move up and down. Now, a lot of these Dilophosaurus, at least from what I've had, their elbows were always super loose. I don't understand what it was. In fact, this arm right here, it can come off pretty easily, but I've tightened it before, and I think it's okay now. I mean, it's still loose, but I don't think it's loose enough to which the arm will just fall out if, like, 1 pound of pressure is applied to it. Anyways, the legs can rotate a full 360 and spread from the body. The knees can move up and down and rotate a full 360, and so can the feet. The tail's on a ball joint, which for whatever reason is a bit ratchety, because there was a bit of a ratchet in the ball joint whenever you moved it up and down or left and right. But mine's ball joint is, like, as you can see, it's all cracked and messed up, so yeah. And there's a wire in the tail, which I really don't like to bend, but I'll bend it a little just for this video. But yeah, so I'm gonna be repositioning this thing. And now I know this isn't a True Effects figure because this was released well before the True Effects aspect of the Hammond collection was introduced, but it's nearly midnight in my area, but I printed this out just for you guys, or for anyone really. Now we're going to be ignoring the obvious size difference here, where the Hammond collection Dilophosaurus is way bigger than it should be, because I mean, there's some like there is some limitations with these figures. But at the same time, they made the Hammond collection Baby Tyrannosaurus, which is pretty small and has full-on leg articulation, which somehow I haven't reviewed either the Baby T-Rex or the Baby Stegosaurus on this channel yet, which I will definitely review in the future. But yeah, so first of all, the skin on this figure is a bit too dark. As you can see, the skin is way lighter. The underbelly color should be more of a white instead of this yellow color, and it should be all over the animal. The arms should be like fully white with some red on it, and also the face is a little bit goofy on this thing. Like, there's the Dilophosaurus face compared to this one, and also for whatever reason it has a slit eye, which that's not accurate to the Dilophosaurus. It's one of the few dinosaurs in the Jurassic franchise to not have slit pupils. Well, I wouldn't say one of the few, but you get what I mean. And plus, as I mentioned earlier, the throat should be red because it's barely noticeable whenever it closes its frill. And these patterns on here should be connected. Like maybe the pattern should like stretch out to here. I understand it's a bit iffy to do that whenever it comes to these kinds of figures because of the posability. And also the tail should be a little bit longer and I would say preferably a little bit thinner, but I mean, But then again, there's wire inside the tail, so it's gonna be pretty difficult to make it any thinner than this. But yeah. And also, there should be a white outline in all the patterning on this animal, but there isn't for whatever reason. Now, I would really like to see a revamped version of the Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus released in the near future. I know they won't do this, but it would be kind of cool to see like a refurbished Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus, preferably with the lighter skin and maybe the white outlines. You know, I feel like it would be pretty cool to see to see a revamped version. Maybe without the glass eyes, because again, those are pretty terrible. But yeah, overall, I would definitely like to see a revamped version of the Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus. And if they ever do decide to make a revamped version, I will be buying all of them, and you can promptly go screw yourselves, because there will be none left because I got them all. That was a joke. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.